right, let's see if this thing is on like we hoped it would be. All right, it's coming online. Looks like it is working. My phone is phone's ringing, letting me know that it's we're coming online here. Let's see if we can get my computer to see it as well. Oh, that's interesting. There we go. Hey. There we go. Let's see if I could actually hear myself on here. We learned that lesson the last time the hard way. There we go. Hey, well, welcome to Fast Friday Pine Grove Church. If you don't know me, my name is Pastor Shane. I'm the senior pastor here at Pine Grove Church. My name is not actually Pastor, it's just Shane, just for the record there. And hey, we're glad you're joining us here. We are doing something that we are calling the Year of Intentional Prayer. And what we mean by that is, well, if 2020 was the year of kind of crying out and asking God, God, help me, then we want to make 2021 this year where we are really intentionally kind of just building a lifestyle of going to Him and trusting Him in all things and building rhythms into our life to increase our prayer life and grow our prayer life and grow our reliance on God, who says that He will help us, that we can be strong and courageous going out into this world, that He will neither leave us nor forsake us. And so part of that is doing this, we're calling Fast Friday, that the third Friday of every month that we as a church fast and pray together. Our fast started last night after dinner, although, if you're just joining us, you could join us now with that. In that fast, but it started last night after dinner, and we'll end it tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll be back on Facebook and hopefully YouTube as well, and just have a time of prayer virtually for now together. If you are looking for kind of more information on fasting and prayer, we did send out a fasting guide to all of you. Also, if you look on our Facebook page, we have it on there. If you just scroll down probably past this video, so you can get a hold of that. Also, if you go to our website and click on the blog link on our website, you'll be able to find our fasting and prayer guide there as well, which is just a little bit of a bonus, a little something to kind of help help get ideas of what to pray through, some scriptures to pray through. Well, one thing we're doing this month is, and every month really, is to have a theme that we are praying for as a church. That this month we are really focusing on what is God's vision for Pine Grove Church. We're really praying that God would help reveal to us what is His vision for who He has created us to be here at Pine Grove and what our future is. And we're calling that process of kind of answering that question Rooted to Grow. Rooted to Grow is a strategic vision process. It's going to help us relook at our mission statement, our core values, just different ways that we could communicate who God has created us to be and kind of where we're going. So we all kind of know the direction that God is leading Pine Grove and kind of can come together as His people to serve Him and love the people around us. So this month, that's been our prayer. Lord, lead us and guide us and show us in the way that we will go. And I hope that today you'll be able to spend some time going to God and asking Him that same question. God, where do you want Pine Grove Church to pray for our elders and to give them wisdom? They're the ones that are going to kind of have to assemble the final product of Rooted to Grow. To pray for just all the people of Pine Grove Church, that God would lead us and kind of unify us in His vision for us. We talk a lot about unity these days, just in our broader culture and communities, but really the thing that unifies us is Jesus Christ, that we all, if we've placed our trust in Him, have this kind of eternal destiny together. We want God to continue to grow that unity in us, not just of our eternal destiny, but of our purpose and what we are doing here today. So that should be part of our prayer as well. The reason we do this, the reason we kind of fast and pray is because God hears our prayers. And on days when we fast, it kind of devotes that time to the Lord. That's why I'm here doing a live stream, because I'm not eating breakfast right now. Instead, I get to spend a little extra time in prayer. This morning, the same thing for lunch. I'll be back on around noon to pray a little bit with you. We believe God hears our prayers, and fasting focuses that. It shows our devotion for God. What it really says is, listen, hunger is important. Like, eating is important for us. It's a good thing. Nothing wrong with eating. But what's more important is our devotion to God. What's more important is that God would lead us and guide us. That is more important than the food that we will eat. So part of fasting is kind of walking through that. The other part of fasting is just to kind of focus us. And so hopefully you are more focused on what God has called Pine Grove to be today, and in praying for that this morning. We also fast because we believe that God answers our prayers. That these prayers are not just about changing us, although it does do that. When we devote ourselves to the Lord, if we are people who are constant in prayer, over time it grows our faith. But we believe God hears us. And I think of Psalms like Psalm 116 that kind of talks about this, that God hears the prayers and the pleading of his people. In Psalm 116 it says this, I love the Lord because he has heard my voice and my pleas for mercy, because he inclined his ear to me. Therefore I will call on him as long as I live. The psalmist here seems to believe that God not only hears his prayers, but will answer them in the way that is consistent with God's character. He says in verse 3, the snares of death encompassed me. The pangs of Sheol laid hold on me. That's kind of their concept of the underworld and their development of the understanding of that. The pangs of Sheol laid hold of me. I suffered distress and anguish, and then I called on the name of the Lord. O Lord, I pray, deliver my soul. Gracious is the Lord, and righteous. Our God is merciful. The Lord preserves the simple. When I was brought low, he saved me. Return, O my soul, to your rest, for the Lord has dealt bountifully with you. For you have delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. I believed, even when I spoke, I am greatly afflicted. I said in my alarm, all mankind are liars. Obviously, this person has a struggle that he has recently gone through. And he says this, what shall I render the Lord for all his benefits to me? All right, before I keep reading there, let me just say the psalmist here believes that God is going to hear his prayers, that he cries out to God with what he needs and God answers him. He sustains him. The psalmist doesn't say God answers every one of his prayers the way that he'd want God to do it, but God does answer his prayers in a way that helps sustain this person. And so we believe the same, that going to God in prayer, he listens to our prayer, he hears our prayers, that God moves sometimes when his people kind of come together and ask God for that help, when they cry out for mercy or they want wisdom or praying for God to lead them, because God desires to lead his people. He wants people to be asking him to reach out to him and to ask for help. Then he goes from kind of this acknowledgement that God hears him, that God sustained him, that God answered his prayers to help him in this time of need, and goes on to then what is this person's response? And he says this, what shall I render to the Lord for all his benefits to me? Well, what can we give to God for what he's done? Really not much, but he does say this, I lift up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. I will pay my vows to the Lord in the presence of all people. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. O Lord, I am your servant. I am your servant, the son of your maidservant. You have loosed my bonds. I will offer to you the sacrifice of thanksgiving and call on the name of the Lord. He talks about paying his vows and sacrificing to the Lord. And in the context of the psalm, that would have meant going to the temple and offering your sacrifices. That is what worship of God looked like for them. And so that's our response as well, that today we are going to spend the day going to God, asking for his help, praying for the people that we know, praying for our communities, and praying for what the vision of Pine Grove Church would be. And after that praying, then we are going to praise the Lord, and we are going to thank him for his steadfast love and the way he has guided us and led us, and believe, if we've offered that sincere prayer from our hearts, that he is in the process of answering it. Again, I will see you later today at noon, and be able to talk to you more then. And then tonight we're going to be breaking our fast again at 6 p.m. And I hope to see you.